Welcome, folks, to My Combat Channel News. I'm the Yak Man, Ron Yakoveti.
FABIANO, the king of armbar.
And we are stoked for tonight's show.
I still hangover.
Yeah, are you still hungover?
Yeah, I have.
You were just king of the bar this weekend, huh?
I have to. I have to celebrate.
King of the bar.
My boy won, and I was like waiting for him to shut everybody else's mouth. So it was great.
Yeah, and a good pay-per-view. Sometimes you hear folks complain they spend a lot of money on a pay-per-view, and they feel like it wasn't worth what they paid for. I think this one
was okay. I say maybe one or two matches over there. You know, I probably let that go. That was the time that I was able to get drunk. You know? And then what after that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
you
anyway.
got drunk before those, you'd enjoy them more.
I know, that's even more exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So let's get right into the results too. Let's start off with the first fight you want to go over. And again, a great card. I really enjoyed it.
I like it too, and I don't know if we need to go over the whole card, but we definitely should just start it from from the ones that was more kind of interest. Rafael dos Anjos and against Mark Mycc, like I say his name, Mycc.
Oh, Mark Mycc, yes.
Yes. Interest, Rafael, he got discovered by, believe it or not, for me in Brazil, and when I used to throw the XFC shows, he fought for me, him and Junior dos Santos, and both won the the 4-man tournament in Brazil. And then right after that, he started to fight for UFC, and I think he did great. His last performance, it was by decision, but it was a great fight. Yeah. He's gonna look like very fast from one fight to the other one. He's not gonna be able to follow up. So.
Indeed, we saw right there, you see Tom Lawler.
Yep.
Tom Lawler fight. A lot of people thought, including Tom Lawler, that he won that fight. A lot of wrestling, a lot of takedowns, a lot of top control. Didn't go his way, unfortunately.
We also Patrick Cote, Alessio Sakara. We spoke a little bit about that. If you guys, I don't know if you guys have a chance to see that fight, but anyway, it was back and forth. Back and forth was a great fight. Into Alessio got a couple strikes on Patrick, I count eight straight strikes in the back of the head, and he got disqualified. Right. And of course, he knocked Patrick out, but with illegal shots. And we spoke about that, and I think the mistake on that particular fight was the referee that should stop that fight on the first strike and then give him
before 8.
Yeah, like 1 or 2,
Yeah.
Jump in, stop, look, you cannot do that, warn him up, give him, take points out or else, and let the whole thing going, because after I think 5 strikes, that's when Patrick went out, so he could stop that before, but anyway, that's...
Plus, as the athlete delivering those shots, I mean, you could make a mistake and hit an area that's not legal to hit once, twice. You get the 5, now it's like, all right. I mean, 8 times, it's like, he just might as well pull out a steel chair like pro wrestling. I mean, you're hitting the wrong spot.
And again, Alessio's not doing that, intention.
Right.
Just that opportunity, that was the angle, that's what I'm going to hit.
Right.
But
and that's why the onus is on the referee. And that's why when you brought that up, I agreed with you. Because normally I would give the responsibility to the athlete delivering the shot. But sometimes in a case like that, like you say, the angle, the referee's watching for a reason. There's your reason.
So Johnny Hendricks, again Martin.
Yeah,
that was
Big Rig Hendricks.
That was a bomb.
That guy could stop a Buick if he hit it. That is some heavy hands.
We're gonna talk more about him today as we're going on the fight. But again, that was a very good knockout, very good win for him, and definitely put him in the #1 spot right now.
And we talked about this. Just as impressive as what he did was that people were excited to see him fight, because when he fought Fitch, he starched him early with a big shot, and you're like, whoa. So now you're all this hype around Hendricks, and he comes out like a sequel to a movie, and he does it again, almost exactly the same, and people were just floored. Two high-quality fighters, Fitch, Campman, and he starched them both. He's got heavy, heavy hands.
And then, of course, the main event of the night, Georges St-Pierre against Carlos Condit, was again with Georges St-Pierre, 5 rounds, putting pressure on Carlos. Yeah. Carlos trying to stay away from him. Again, GSP team was, put the whole very strategy together, very interesting. I don't know if you folks at home noticed, but every time was less than 2 minutes on the round, he was shooting for a takedown and finish the
and
round like
control
that.
the round on top.
He did the same thing 5 rounds. Like around 2 minutes, he shot in, put him down, and did damage on him on the ground.
And that, it sounds like what you're saying is, and I would agree, that's a guy who had a game plan, knew how to implement it, and would not be deterred from it.
And not change the game plan either.
Exactly, yeah, he did. He knew exactly what he was doing. Got a little bit damaged in the third.
He almost got knocked out.
He had a shot to be taken out again. You saw that same look on his face, and people reacted like he did when he got starched by Serra. But he recovered, he held on to a double, and he came back and he made something happen. So, but it was very close at that point.
And again, you know, like he can't say that he didn't have a chance. He did.
Yeah.
He did have a chance to win. I'm talking about Carlos. Anyway, on that in that fight of the night, we got bonus from the best fight of the night for Georges St-Pierre and Carlos Condit. Like they need, you know, I talk about GSP. I think that 70 grand doesn't make difference for him, but for most of the fighters does make a lot of difference.
Yeah.
And John Hendrick, of course, for the best knockout of the night. Even Menjivar with best submission armbar. So anyway, we're moving forward. We let that go, and after the UFC 154, we got the I say the match to be made. Right after that.
This is what Joe Silva's to-do list for Santa Claus ought to be at this time of year.
Exactly. So we're talking about everybody talking about Georges St-Pierre against Anderson Silva. So that's one of the match they're talking about. And
Dana says it's going to happen.
Yeah, let's see. You know,
but Dana says there's no women in the UFC, and he says there are going to be women in the UFC now. So sometimes he changes his mind. I'd be interested to see how willing St. Pierre and Silva are.
Next one is John Hendricks against Nick Diaz.
That's a great fight.
I think that's going to be a great fight.
That's a great fight. Nobody who knows how to go backwards in that fight.
Yeah, Carlos Condit against Martin
Kampmann. Kampmann Condit, great fight. Again, two guys who are resilient, who know how to survive, and know how to do a lot of damage in a short period of time. That could be a great matchup.
Francis Carmont against Ricky
Killer B Fukuda.
Yeah.
And it's another really good matchup. Stylistically, not too different. Fukuda's going to give him some trouble, but I think, again, that's a potential fight of the night fight.
So another one is Rafael dos Anjos on the spot, waiting for the fight against Joe Lauzon
and Jim Miller.
So the winner of that should be fighting Rafael dos Anjos. Guys, again, this is match that we, you know, not only us, you know, Sherdog and other people think that should be making. You know,
yeah, this is like a wish list. This is your fight fans' wish list. These are ones that you hope come out of what's happening or who's out there.
And Pablo Garza against Robbie Peralta. A good one too. So anyway,
another great fight. Well, it's good to know that there's a future.
It's a lot of
a lot of these classes.
It's so much easier to be a matchmaker these days, guys.
Yeah.
Come on. It's like good fighters all over the place. It's just, you know, good styles just put together. Anyway, guys.
Speaking of putting things together,
let's go to the commercial. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.
Welcome back, folks, to My Combat Channel News. We move on now to some of the stats that came out of UFC 154 this past weekend. St. Pierre Condit. Interesting numbers. 1,048 strikes by GSP. He outlands everybody he fights, with the exception of his loss to Matt Serra.
Yep.
That's phenomenal.
We're talking about his whole career on the UFC, let's be very clear.
Yes.
Not in one fight only.
Exactly. All 8 takedown attempts St. Pierre had in the fight with Condit successful, every single one of them. And he's third now, or fourth out of an octagon time, hours put in, 4 hours, 38 minutes, 12 seconds behind Tito, Randy, and BJ Penn.
Wow.
Yeah, Condit, by the way.
You know why? Because again, a lot of his fight goes 5 minutes. That's why it stay longer. That's
it's good to see the dark cloud outside the silver lining.
It's a good number to show to the sponsors.
Yes, exactly.
How long, you know, look how long it's 10 camera.
Yeah.
You know, it's not my case before. It was like 32 seconds and that's it.
He's got 12 championship fights in his UFC career, and Condit's numbers, his percentage of accuracy, 24% of his significant strikes.
Wow,
that's not a high number.
That's a very high number. That's good. That's a good number. That's crazy when they go, like, I don't know who they pay to do all this calculation. Definitely not me.
No. Yeah, it involves math. I'm not involved.
No, I think more than
when I run out of toes and fingers, I'm done.
Like, patient to go ahead and kind of, you know, so what else we got? 8 successful title defense for Georges St-Pierre.
Yep.
That's an interesting one. I think he passed Matt Hughes or
not yet?
He's right there.
He's right there. Yeah.
They both same numbers. There you go.
I believe so. Yeah. It was an impressive performance. I think people got to see what we've been missing from him. Was that somebody made him fight. He actually fought. He had some adversity. He did well with it. He was close to getting beaten. He had all the theatrics of a really top quality championship fight, and that's what's been missing. And the Jake Shields fight had none of that.
Yeah.
So this was a great change for the fans.
It is. And we can go ahead and change subject here. We go back to Hendricks again. The power that he believed, not only him, I think I start to believe that too. Very powerful left hand.
Yeah, he's got the hands of a heavyweight, clearly.
He's definitely, like, we got a video of him, some image. We could not get the knockout anywhere. UFC probably holding that back.
Yeah, that's not getting released easily.
You know, this is just like
there he is right there, though.
His stuff that he have done before, you know, a little bit talking.
Really nice down-to-earth guy, by the way, too. I got a chance he called a couple of fights with me at Tough Enough in Las Vegas, big amateur show. And it couldn't have been a nicer guy, really grounded. Very people-oriented, but man, again, with that kind of power, he is always a heartbeat away from winning any fight. The negative side to that is that when people know that, they're going to stay away from the power hand, they're going to try to take him down. St. Pierre would ragdoll him the whole fight just to stay away from that left hook.
I know, but don't you think that Martin already knew it, that he has a power and it just could not stay away?
It doesn't mean,
it's
right.
Like, look, how many times people have walked, you know, and fight against me that he knows that my weapon is armbar and they still get caught in armbar.
Yeah.
You know, like the more they worry about, you know, more they open up, kind of. It's like, or just don't even give it a chance. Like in his case, he just, you know, shoot, take him down, and that's it. Don't give a chance. Or away from him. You know? 3 steps away from him.
If one guy has the intelligence and the athleticism to pull off the effective stay away from Hendricks' power plan, it would be St. Pierre. Yeah, he'll circle away, he'll walk away from the power. He'll do the same thing kind of comparable to this fight. He'll take him down for a period of time, control, and just not let him get that shot off. But if he gets that shot off one time against any welterweight, over.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Anyway, talk about
knockouts.
Knockouts. Let's get knockout right now with the lightweight countdown.
Top 10.
Top 10.
Hey everyone, I'm Erin Gales, and this is your top 10 lightweight division. At number 10, we have Donald Cowboy Cerrone. At number 9, we have Eddie Alvarez. At number 8, we have Jim Miller. Number 7, Michael Chandler. Number 6, we have Nate Diaz. And at number 5, Anthony Showtime Pettis. And at number 4, we have the bully, Gray Maynard. At number 3, we have El Nino himself, Gilbert Melendez. At number 2, we have Frankie the Answer Edgar. And at number 1, we have Benson Smooth Henderson. Thank you for watching. I'm Erin Gales, and that was your top 10 lightweight division.
You know what? These guys need to do something, because if they keeping the same rankings, she's never coming back to do another one.
That's true. Somebody beat somebody in that list so we can bring her back.
Up, or somebody go down, so we have to change that.
It's not just about you people. Sometimes we need stuff too.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, guys, we're going to the commercial. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, folks. My Combat Channel News. We move on now
the next UFC 155.
That's going to be good.
Dos Santos and Velasquez.
The first question that pops into my mind on that main event, and I'm going to ask you because you're a veteran of the octagon, why would this fight be any different than the last one?
Oh, it's going to be different for sure. The last one is just like happened, you know. That's the thing that happened. This definitely is going to be longer. It's not going to be that short. Both going to be like a little more careful. And I'm not surprised Junior Dos Santos, you know, maybe try, you know, go for a submission or something different, you know. So again,
another heavy-handed guy too. Not sure he hits harder than Hendricks.
Yeah,
but he hits hard.
You know, like, you know what I like about is that the not the main event, but the one fight before the main event is they've been getting very good, you know, fights that to pump you up.
Yeah.
And Phil Davis and Griffin, that's gonna be a good fight. Come on.
Yeah, Forrest Griffin, Phil Davis. That's a great matchup too.
It is. It is. I think for Phil it's a good one. I think Phil is in the better timing now.
Yeah, he's on an upswing for sure. But I mean, Forrest is a guy too that you cannot take lightly. If you're off your game when you fight Forrest, that's a bad night to be off your game because
anytime. Come on. You can't take these guys that be on top lightly. You know, like they definitely you can't do that. But again, in my opinion, I think Phil Davis is in better timing than Griffin.
You would perceive he's more on the upswing of his career, whereas Forrest is at the top, starting to level off a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
top coming down.
You want to say coming down?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and say it.
On the way down. You know, I can say that.
You can say, yeah, because if he gets mad, you can armbar him, where I cannot.
What else? Yeah. Can take it a different way, but that's the way it is. Yeah. And again, it's in Vegas on December 29th. If you have plans to spend the New Year's in Vegas.
Yes, before you get drunk and find yourself upside down with your ass hanging up in the fountain in front of Caesars, maybe watch this.
I told you what I'm going to do already?
It's on my Google Calendar. It just syncs up. I just like,
that was
FABIANO
exactly
says, like,
what I was planning to.
Hey,
you know?
How do I get to that?
All I need is my boy Rampage be there as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's go back again
to our theme.
Yeah. You know, John Hendricks.
Yeah.
He's on the top 10. Of course he's on the top 10. He's not on the top 10. I think he is number 1 now.
Yeah, he's
definitely one on 107 pounds.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. It's like, if he's gonna get GSP before Anderson Silva, that's a power of negotiation between UFC and the two fighters.
Yeah, you bring up a very interesting business decision because that's a great fight at welterweight. However, if the super fight with Silva is going to happen, Hendricks is a guy who could literally tear the bottom out of that wallet. Because if he starches him or beats him up bad enough, nobody's going to think that the appeal for Anderson Silva is there as much.
It's, no doubt about it. It's a business decision. It's like, okay, let's sit down and let's try make this GSP and Anderson Silva happen.
Yeah.
Okay, how much they're going to be, and okay, let's make it happen. If it's not for sure, and then we go to Hendricks because he can pull that down and then the whole plan is out.
Yeah, and it's more detrimental the other way. If St. Pierre fights Silva and loses, he's losing to a pound-for-pound great like himself, someone who fights larger than him for the most part. So it's a little more understandable. But if he loses to a welterweight, then the mystique of going up to fight an Anderson Silva is a lot less appealing for people who are going to spend $55 or $45 for a pay-per-view. It's not so super a fight. If he's even remotely interested in his career for fighting Silva, he's got to make sure his representation does it now, not after rolling the dice on Hendricks.
Yeah. And as you guys saw, Georges St. Pierre, I think he's already putting some weight up for that, you know, getting ready for that match because he was like at least 10, 15 pounds in muscle. He put it up because he was not that big like before, and he's bigger now.
Yeah, so, he definitely looked more muscular and more filled out of this frame.
So, Ronda, first UFC to go. She's gonna not only fight for UFC, she's gonna fight straight for the belt.
They're gonna start right out with a title fight. I mean, the women's MMA is not so new where you can't perceive that there would be someone championship worthy. She held the title for Strikeforce. It's a reasonable, you know, it's a vacant title. She's fighting for it. So, you know, and whether or not she has an opponent at 135 who's, you know, you think has got a chance to beat her, is yet to be seen. We don't know who the opponent is at this point.
Yeah, they don't have no idea. Like, I just hope they bring somebody that can really give her a hard time. Yeah, it's like, and then, you know, be a good fight, because in the I don't know, you know, and the bad part, I think, about for her is that she better keep the nice, you know, pretty face, because if not, she's gonna lose her job.
Oh yeah. That's how you do it.
I did.
He gets it. He keeps a pretty face, and that's why he's sitting here.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, let's see. Let's see who's they're going to bring to her. So
yeah, people want to see her have a good fight for sure. She's already made her case that she's a legit top fighter. Now people want to see someone who can challenge her, like we saw with Condit St. Pierre. People want to see somebody test her mettle.
And again, it is so many good ones. You know, we have chance to interview good ones, and we do have chance to interview a couple more good ones that come in, like, follow the week. Some good female fighters.
Yeah.
So I hope the UFC doesn't stick into just, you know, open eyes for a lot of different options. So
yeah, I think they'll expand other weight classes. They're going to start with one. They're going to give it a chance. And from where they came, not even wanting any, great first step. I think it only gets better.
Anyway, guys, thank you. Have a good night. See you guys tomorrow.
That's him telling you go, but come back next time. But go. But then.